Good afternoon, and welcome to the UAN Lunch and Learn webinar training session. It is an honor. It is also a privilege to be here. Thank you. And I wish I was eating lunch with you today. Now we shall start our show. What we will cover this day is how to make a Dell hardware service call, also UAN backups, and frequently asked questions. Dell hardware service call. Please make sure that you identify yourself properly, and this is very key. But what we're going to talk about is how to contact Dell, and make sure that you do these things before you call them or UAN. Make sure that every electrical outlet and circuit breakers and also battery backups are working properly. And check for loose or unhooked cords and cables. Number two, you will contact Dell support when there are hardware issues. For instance, when your computer does not fire up like it should, or else you're getting that very bad blue screen. Those are true warning signs. Monitor will not function properly. You're not seeing anything on there. Your printer is not recognized by the system. And there is a failure on here, that part, to show a ready state, or there are frequent paper jams. Your CD and your DVD drive does not function properly, and there are read and write errors. Also note that if the Dell 2350 printer will be, or else could be, replaced by the 2360 DN printer. It's a very nice printer. You can find your hardware service tag, which is made up of bold printed numbers and letters. For example, what I have here, GC12Y3, and in some cases Dell might ask for the express service code, which is made up of numbers only. And the location for the desktop is a silver type label. On it, it has your service tag. It's there on the top front panel. The laptop is on the cover. Your printer is on the rear panel. We also purchased a warranty for your hardware. The upgrade warranty is for next day service. This warrant also allows for Dell to send out a technician to make any repairs in which you do not feel comfortable in doing yourself. There are two options on how to contact Dell hardware support. One is the phone. The second one is by chat mode. But before you contact Dell, make sure that you are near your computer or printer to perform any test in which they might ask you to. By phone, you will call them at 1-866-516-315, press or say to start your process. Follow the easy prompts using a phone, pad, and or voice. And when you are talking with them, when they ask you who is the owner of the hardware, you will say, Ohio Auditor of State Uniform Accounting Network. Let's say it all at the same time. Ohio Auditor of State Uniform Accounting Network. It's very important in which you identify yourself properly, or else service could be denied. They may want you to confirm all of your personal information. Also, at the end of your call, ask your Dell service rep for a service request number, which is your case number that you will get. That's for this call ticket for any future reference, or for us, UAN Tech could use to talk to Dell about issues in which you have had. The second option, which is a chat mode, you must have internet access. You can use any mobile device, like a tablet, smartphone, and or the available computer. But also, again, Dell might run tests on your UAN computer if it's operational. You can access Dell by going to www.dell.com. When you reach that site, you will see the following window. There you will type chat. In the search window, click search, then you will click the technical support chat. You will see the screen to enter your service tag or the express service code, which is right down here. Right there. You will then click the submit button and wait for the welcome screen. Here, you will enter your company name, which is, again, Ohio Auditor of State, Uniform Accounting Network. Again, it's very important in which you identify yourself properly, or service will not be made for you. You will enter the rest of the rest of the info, like your name, your last name, your email, and also your phone number in which you can be reached. And then you will go ahead and click the chat after you tell them what is your hardware problem. Click chat, and then wait for Dell representatives greeting. You will type your responses to their questions, hit enter to send. Whenever parts or a repair person is sent out to you, please give them your current street address and phone numbers where everything is at. When your session is finished, Dell will send you a copy to your email for your records. It's very, very detailed. Everything you type back and forth is there for you. Now I would like to open it up for your 1 or 2 quick questions. If you have some, raise your hand.
Please send me a.
I don't have any questions.
Okay.
No questions. Let me check the chat real fast, but I don't see anybody with their hand raised. But
No one with their hands raised?
it takes me a few seconds to scroll up. Oh, I do mini shorts.
Okay.
I'm reading this short.
Ms. Schultz. Hello?
Okay.
Ms. Schultz?
I'm disconnected. There's someone else.
Okay, well,
Let me see who else.
let's see who else is out there.
No one else?
No one else?
No question.
Okay. Now, the next area in which we will cover is very, very important. It's called UAN Backups. I cannot say enough about UAN Backups, but you need to do the UAN application and also the documents backups frequently. Whenever changes happen in these areas, make sure that you back it up. Your prior software backup captures your prior years, your cemetery, and the minutes, and you should do this backup just at least once using a large media, such as your USB flash drive, maybe a DVD. It's here more or less too large to fit onto a regular CD. And the backups can also be done on several media types. Recommended by us is CD-R, DVD-R, USB flash, and or the external hard drives that you might get. We also recommend that you not use CD-RWs or DVD-RW because you can overwrite and lose your previous data. And when using media, what I tell folks to do is to set up a new disk for that month, and you will label it as UAN Backup for August 2014. And then you will repeat that for each month of the year, and on and on. You really don't want all your eggs in one basket. What we're saying here, mix up your media. Buy you extra flash drives. Copy them, save them. Do not delete your backups because we need those. We have gone back two or 3 years to get something for someone. So again, once they get full, save them. Your CD, your disk, we ask that you archive those. Do not throw them away. And what you want to do is also make a weekly backup to keep that off-site in a safe place for in case something goes wrong. In case there's a fire, a theft, there could be a flood. It's very important in which you back up frequently. Again, you can never back up too much. Better often than less to avoid any loss of your data due to hardware failure or else circumstances beyond your control. The UAN application does make you do a backup every 30 days, once a month. But you can back up anytime and also as many times as you want. I could tell you some things, and very briefly. Some people have waited for more than 3 or 4 weeks. Something goes wrong. Hard drive crashes. We have to re-image you, and we have to set you back to your last backup. Do you want to re-enter all of that work, your warrants, your POs, receipts, etc.? That's a lot of work when you're taking just a few minutes to back your stuff up is well worth it. Now, you might also ask us, how can I set my backup where this will more or less tell you to do it in less than 30 days? This is how you do it. You sign in to UAN. You will click the General tab, and the Maintenance, and then the Entity Setup, and then go over to System. Go down to where the arrow says UAN Backup Interval, and then you can then select the number of days in which you will be told it's time to do your backup. Are there any more questions? Raise your hand.
We have Pat Myers.
Pat Myers.
Has her hand raised.
Okay.
I don't know if she has a question that's raised.
Okay. Pat Myers, do you have something, a question to ask? If not, we will move on. Okay. Now we will cover the frequently asked questions. What if I cannot do my UAN backup? Who should I call for help? When you are using a blank CD and or DVD and that fails, then use a USB flash drive or the external drive. And then you will select the media option. Then if that fails, call us, UAN, at 1-800-833-8261 whenever these fail. Give us a call. What if my paper is pulling from the wrong tray? Who should I call for help? Again, call UAN. UAN also has details online. They're at the website of ours at UAN link. You can see it right here, the UAN link. The only thing you have to do is hold down the control key here, and you will click it, and that will take you out there to the site, and it's set up for your each printer in which we have the Dell 2335, the Dell 2350, and as well as the Dell 2360 DN. The next point is that you found some very entertaining free software, such as PC Cleaner and games, etc. Can I install it? Be careful. And what we say is, don't do it, but some of the software comes with various strains, such as viruses, malware, spyware, trojans, worms, and also annoying pop-ups, and your system being forced to go out into places in which you don't want to visit. In the bad cases that we've had, the client's system must be re-imaged, which means it's also erased, and the data reloaded from your last backup that you did. Again, backups are very key. Do them frequently. The next point is do not put anything free or purchase software not unless you reach us by phone and or email or fax, and you need to submit a letter requesting the right to load it onto your system, the approval. Can I put aftermarket software and or hardware? Again, do not install any free or purchase software and or hardware unless you get in touch with UAN and that you submit a letter requesting the okay to do that. The next thing we want to cover is can you also install Google Chrome or Firefox? Yes, and you do not have to call us for that. The next thing that's very important is updates. Should I allow certain updates? Which updates should I allow? Any of the Microsoft Office and Windows, the Adobe, Semantic, or your brand of antivirus, Java, and whenever in doubt, please give us a call at UAN. How do I know if my system has a virus? Again, run a full virus scan. Not the quick one, but we here also have detail there on the website of ours at here UAN link. You can click this, go out there, and then once you do that, you will do exactly what they say. And this is the screen in which you will see. And then you will choose the full scan. Do not use the active scan. And then you will choose the scan for threats right here. And that will bring this one up for you. And that will list them all out for you. What should you do if you do have a virus or something go wrong? Give us a call right away. You would like to network your printer, but or else do you need a wireless card? Can you hook it up to your router? Yes, you can hook your printer to your router whenever there are slots there, but using the Ethernet cable. You can also call us at UAN Tech, and we can help you with that. How do I network my UAN system for the multiple users? Again, you can give us a call. We will guide you through it, and we want to save you the most money as well. Make it worth your while. If if you move your desktop, what should you do? Before you move it, always do a UAN, and the documents, and the prior software backups. Turn off your system, and then you will then turn it off, and you will unhook your computer and the monitor and the printer. Mark and label all your cables, and then unhook them if needed. And then you will also contact your insurance company if the hardware is a change of address. Can I change my screen settings? It is very recommended that you do not change from the 1920 by 1080. You can cause the UAN application to not show its forms right, such as you could have missing fields. But there's also an option. It's called the magnifier glass. You can click on your start button, go to all programs, accessories, and the ease of access, and then your magnifier. I'll show you right quick. This is what you'll see. And you can blow this thing up. See? Very, very easy. After you're finished with it, click on the X here, close it out, or else right-click it down here, and you can then get out of that portion. Now, there are some more features in which you can also use. We have one that's called, you can also get these going under your start, the all programs, the accessories, and there's a neat one that's called the sticky notes. This morning someone just raved on that. She said it even helped her marriage. And also she's got a very super happy husband now. But then just how that works again is you go into all programs, you go to the accessories, you go down to sticky notes, click that, and it brings it up, and there you go. You can use those like a digital Post-it note, and you can change your colors to whatever you want to be. You want it pink, you can turn pink on them, you know. You want them blue, you can do blue. You can add more by just doing that. And you can change the color of that one if you want to. Again, those are things out there that's very easy to use. The next thing we have is called the snipping tool. This is a screen shooting utility. It can take screenshots for you of any open window, areas, and it can be then put on to, it can be saved as a PNG, a GIF, or JPEG file, and or email. I guess my time is running out.
Well, that's a great question.
And do any of you have questions? Raise your hand, please.
Scroll, click really slow. Lenny Schultz again has raised their hand.
Minnie Schultz?
Lenny Schultz.
Lenny Schultz.
You're touching your nose.
Lenny Schultz, you're on, ma'am. All right, she took her hand down. She must be shy, Joe.
Oh, we will bite. Jody Howard has a question.
Jody Howard, you have a question. How might we help you today? Is Jody shy?
I just wanted to know how to turn the volume up. I can't hear you very well.
Okay, your volume is right on the taskbar here. I'll show you again, right here on the taskbar. Just a second, it's not showing it. Yeah, it's showing up here. You click this, and that will raise your volume up and down. For yours, turn it all the way up. push it to the max. Okay.
We did have one suggestion.
Yes.
When doing a backup, keep a log.
Yes, right.
Just a bit.
Make sure that as you do all your backups, keep a log running on when they were done, and the dates,
Which disk you saved it on.
and which, yeah, also which your disk, USB flash drive, etc. Make sure that you back up frequently. I cannot stress that enough. I have seen some clients break down in tears after learning that they have to re-enter all that work for a whole month, or else they got it on wrong backup. And now I guess we're ready for Mr. Carswell. Let's give him a warm welcome just as he comes through.
2 seconds because Joe is slow at this.
All right then. And also, thank you very much.
Big presenter. Yes. I want him. So.
Carzo, we're ready for you.
All right. Let's see. Well, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the second half of the Tips and Tricks webinar. Can you hear me okay, Joe?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, great. All right. Then we're going to focus more of how to get out of UAN certain things that will help make your life a little easier, make things go a little faster, some things in reporting that can help you to delve a little bit more into your numbers. We're going to focus on some of those light bulb moments. You know, I didn't know UAN could do that, or gee, I never thought about using it just like that. So we're going to start on some basic concepts and builds so that you can see how combining them can have a bigger impact. Now here you see the visual glossary. This is how we actually refer to the different areas in UAN. It's pretty straightforward: main menu, system utilities, the modules, the menu options, the search functions, the functions, the listen area. This is very important because when you call in the support line or look at a manual or attending a UAN training, it helps to know what we're talking about when we say, well, we're about to click on the list and we're about to use the search or some of the filters. What exactly does this mean? And again, this is pretty straightforward, and you can look at this at your leisure, where you have things like the data entry grid, the data entry line, and the insert row. And we're going to be building on this, and so you can see how you utilize some of these, and in some cases how you don't utilize some of them. So we're going to focus on helping you to use UAN more efficiently. So we're going to take a look at UAN directly. And here we have UAN, and we're going to accounting, reports and statements, appropriation reports, and here we have the most usual report that everyone uses, the appropriation status report. One of the things that we want to look at is if you're looking at the list as on the handout that was given to you, I'm going straight down the list, but there are some aspects that will be utilized in conjunction with it. So right now we're on point number 2, sorting by heading. This guide is for you to reference throughout using UAN, and if you have any other questions, then you can certainly ask as well too, just the same as with George. We'll be breaking for questions at certain points. So here we're going to look at sorting by heading. So here, when we're talking about headings, we're talking about headings of the list view, as stated in the visual glossary. We have account codes, account names, and unencumbered balance. And if I click on account names, notice that it sorts by the account names in alphabetical order. If I click on it again, it sorts again in reverse order. So how can that be especially helpful? Well, let's take a look. If I look at the numerical heading, and I click on unencumbered balance, oh, there's a negative item, but that isn't what I was looking for. I can actually look and see what larger amounts that I had that I have unencumbered balance with. So this will really help in being able to determine, well, if I need to do supplementals and movings of monies, where can I actually take the monies? Oh, I have quite a bit of money in this 2021 330, so I can take some of that and move it if I need to. So highest, lowest, we can see what encumbered balance are, and we can also do it for account codes. So here I have account codes, and I can click it again, and again it sorts highest to lowest and lowest to highest. But say, for instance, I want to find every instance of let's see, let's pick dental insurance. And I want to see every place that I have dental insurance. Well, I don't want to go through and select each and every last one of these. So what I can do is, once I have this selected, I can click it again, an account name, and use my arrow key, and it automatically grouped everything according to where I was at. Now, we want to take a look next at changing the year. Say, for instance, I want to look at the prior year appropriation status report. The appropriation status report now, well, actually all data exists within UAN for prior years, 2013 and going forward, outside of UAN for 2012. So I can change that by clicking here and just changing the year. Notice that I do have two places that say year. I don't want to do where it says date and year, because this references the entire year for the current year, while this references the prior years. And as the years go on, you'll see this go up, 2013, 2014, 2015. So now I can have a listing of appropriation status report for 2013 or any other year as well. Now, we're going to move on to filtering, sorting, and options. They're a great way to bring more context to reports by limiting reporting. And we're going to look at that in the context of using the compliance report and the compliance controls, because I recall when I was doing my appropriation report, my appropriation status, and I did this, I had a negative item. Well, you're not really supposed to have negative items in UAN. So how did that happen? Well, if I get this message, and I have I'm trying to post a payroll, it warns me that I have a compliance violation. It says, do I want to see a display of the report? And I say yes. And I can see what report or what my compliance violation would be. That would be over-encumbering the account code by $27,000. But can I continue posting the selected wages anyway? Yes, I can. Now, UAN is great in helping to keep you in line with your compliance. And the way we do that is by going to General, Maintenance, and Entity Setup and Systems. And notice we have warn users with option to override, or even stop users when not in compliance. It's up to you as to which setting you choose, but keep in mind that if you do have the warn user with option to override, that it does not mean that the compliance violation went away. It just meant that you can continue with your work, and then you'd have to still go back and correct the compliance violation. So how do we know if we have a compliance violation? We can actually take a look at the compliance report. We'll go to General, Reports and Statements, and Compliance Reports. And here I have my compliance report. And here I have where I had posted my Ohio Bureau of Workmen's Compensation check. It was a Saturday. I was busy. My husband was just trying to be crazy. The kids were yelling, and I just wanted to get this out, and the payroll was there, so I just went ahead and clicked and said, yes, I'm going to go ahead and go past this, and I'll come back and fix this later. Well, this is also a special note for those that have multi-users, in other words, more than one user on UAN, because if the other person also has WARN and they had clicked past it and they did not remember to come back and correct it, this is also a good way to follow up and see, well, where and if I had compliance reports, and also who did it. Notice here, in looking at the different ways that we can look at compliance reports, I can have a filter. And I have here a type, and it shows me all the different kinds of compliance violations that can be overridden and show up on our report. Keep in mind that this is heavily scrutinized during an audit, and it will be reviewed. So I'm all for cross-checking. If you remember that negative balance on that appropriations report, it kind of just jogged my memory, but if I come here first to the compliance report, hopefully it's blank for you, because when you get that message, the first line of defense is always to clear the compliance violation first. If you need further help in deciphering what that would be, then you can certainly call UAN and we can help you with that as well. Next, we're going to go back to the appropriation report, and we're going to look at some of the data selection shortcuts. Now, say for instance, I want to select everything that is down. I want to look at everything from the general report, so I don't want to spend time checking all these, so I can click on the very last one and click up, Control U, which selects everything from that point up. Now, well, maybe I want everything that's not the general fund, so I think I'll clear. Notice that this is the select all button, but I can also use it as a clear all button as well. So I want everything but the general fund. So I'm going to select here and click Control D, and it selects everything from that point down. Now, keeping in mind that we're still in the appropriation status report, we want to see some of our account codes in a different light. So we're going to go to sorting. And notice here I have sort by account code, which is grayed out, but I also have group by fund or fund program and object code. So we'll take a look at just the general fund and see what it looks like. Without the sort, but now I'm going to group by fund, program, and object code, displaying the same things. Notice that I now have groupings. Groupings according to salary, employee fringe benefit, purchase services, and according to program. So I have object code groupings, and then program code groupings, and then fund groupings. So I can actually take a look at a snapshot of, especially for some of the larger entities or those entities that utilize a broader range of account codes and codes, especially in the salary account codes. This can help you to see how your grouping come out for your financial report. So what does that mean? Well, if you notice or remember, since we only really kind of go through this during year end, is that these groupings correspond, of course, to the program and object code, which also corresponds to, if I go to General, Reports and Statements, year-end, notice that the year-end reports are still available within UAN, even though it is not year-end. I can't have the year-end reports for 2014 currently, but I can look back at my 2013 reports. So I'm going to look at my combined statement for 2013. And I'm going to display. And notice I have under my disbursements groupings according to my program codes: general government, public safety, public works. So I can now correspond the things that I see in the appropriation status report to my financial statements, and even go further by going to budget, budget transactions, financial worksheets, and looking at my worksheet. Notice that I have groupings for my revenues, but also my expenditures. Notice my groupings: salaries, employee fringe benefits, purchase services. What do those look like? Again, here we have salaries, employee fringe benefits, purchase services. That's the great thing about UAN, is that you have cohesive reporting across a broad range of reports. We generally refer to that as footing, in that if you see a number somewhere, you can always find it somewhere else. And you can know that and be assured that UAN has the correct information as long as the correct information is going into UAN. But it's good to know, too, how things correspond against the things that we use normally: appropriation status report, the year-end report, the budget report. So we're going to stop here and see if we have any questions.
So far, Mr. Carzo, we do not have any questions.
All right. Then I'm going to move on. And since we're here,
Maybe I sometimes sit back further or something. Maybe that's what we got to do.
okay. So since we're here at the budget report, let's take a look at some of the options for printing report, because certain options don't appear unless you're on the printing screen. So if I go here and I go to print, and I can go to prior years, projected years, I have options for different types of reporting, and including change columns, account codes, footnotes. Keep in mind, too, that it's very important how that you add the report, the worksheet into UAN, because notice I'm limited in prior years and projected years. If I go to add, I have projected years 5, prior years 4, so I can go back 4 years or even project out to 5 years. So it's very important that you consider how you add. Some folks will even add on the heavier side all 4 and all 5, because notice that when I go back to the report, I now have the option up to going back either prior years 2, here you see 3 and 4, or projected years, so I can limit it. Even though I had projected out to 5 years on my budget worksheet, when I actually go to print, I can limit it to 2 and 2. So we can actually look at this and then correspond it again. Only did my general plan here, but we can look at program and object code and the account codes. And notice I have my financial worksheet in a very different format than what we're probably used to seeing, but it's also grouping the account codes according to the headings that are shown on the year-end report. So again, going back and going forward, we can always use UAN to have that cohesiveness in knowing our information. So going back into using hotkeys. Here you see the screen, and I can differentiate by the action buttons by pressing Alt, and notice I now have underlines for E, F, U, L, P, and D, where if I hit Alt and that function, so Alt D, I can go, once I make a selection, I can go Alt D and make my selections here. Also, keep in mind that I can use the keyboard to navigate UAN. I don't necessarily have to use my mouse. And we can use a combination of arrow keys and tab keys. So how does that look? It kind of is a lot thrown at you. Some of the stuff you're going to have to practice with. We recommend going to training. But how does that look? I'm not even going to pick up my mouse. So I'm going to tab through my various screens here. And I'm going to select the prelim and Alt-D. And I'm going to tab to select my account codes. And I'm hitting the space bar to select those. Tab to select that. And OK. So again, it's a combination for those of you that are used to using the keyboard. Notice that that functionality is still available in UAN, and it's very similar to how you use Microsoft Windows and Word and some of that functionality as well. Arrowing over blue question marks, yellow question signs, and red exclamation points. We're going to take a look at some of the other information that you can see by going to places like payroll, maintenance, and withholding editor. And here I have a blue question mark. And if I click on the question mark, it gives me information as to how the withholdings are created and the whole formula and how Medicare and how school income tax and earned income affects certain withholdings. One of the great things about the UAN screens in tying certain things together is that some of the maintenance screens and some of the editor screens are very useful in using in conjunction with some of the reporting screens. So, for instance, I can use the withholding editor for a snapshot glance of everybody that's on OPERS right now. I don't necessarily have to run a report to see. I can see who is set up currently under OPERS and how they're set up. They're all regular at 10%. I can see who's OPNF, who's on my school income tax. So this is a one-stop shop for being able to not only see how you're set up, but if I need to make a change, school income tax, they changed to 1%. I'm going to select all, and I'm going to change to a rate of 1%. And I'm going to save. Everyone at one time has just been saved, so that eliminates me having to go into each and every person and save it. So we are now on under reports and one, as I mentioned, the advanced screen navigation and in conjunction using search. So going back to that appropriation status report, I want to find every time I've paid something on an electric bill. Well, I have to keep in mind that this is my appropriation screen. It shows me account codes. It doesn't show my payments or my vendors. So I can use some of the utility screens. I'm going to go to accounting, utilities, and payment utility. And notice that over here I have a search. So that's a little bit different in reports. In reports I can't search, but I can filter and sort and use various other options. But under my utilities screens I can do a search. So how does that help me? Well, if I put in electric and I click on the arrow here, I now see every warrant that I had paid on electric. So Amish Electric and Sparkly Electric. So I can see every time that I have paid on an electric bill or to a contractor, because one is a contractor, one is the electric. So if I want to narrow it down even more, if I go to here, and I just want to take a look at it. I see the account code that I actually use. So here, I can now go back to my appropriation reports, and I know exactly what appropriation account code I can look at to get my information. So again, I can use the search within the utilities area to search various ways, as well as sort. So if I want to see well, I only have the one electronic payment to the Ohio Bureau of Workmen's Comp, so there it is. And it's still outstanding. Well, that may be why my bank rec is still out, because it didn't clear when I thought it would. So again, you can utilize different areas of UAN to provide that information very quickly and in conjunction with each other. And that is the neat thing about UAN, as well as being able to have multiple windows open. I can actually jump back and forth between those two different areas to find information. So we are looking at number 4. Number 3, using FAQs. Notice over to the left, I have a screencast tutorial. Those are actual videos of the area that I'm on and using the payment utility. And the how-tos are step-by-steps of using those particular areas. So if I wonder, well, it's 8 o'clock at night and I can't call UAN, how do I adjust the payment? This will take you to the exact place within the manual to learn exactly how to do that. Also, for other material, if you notice, we have Auditor Yost's picture and the state seal. If I click on Auditor Yost's picture directly, I can access the auditor's website. If I click on the state seal, I have the UAN link website. So those are some of the neat tools that we have, along with a calculator, a calendar, where you can change the colors of UAN to whatever you like. And also, when you call UAN, a very neat way that we can assist you is by connecting to your computer to take a look. And you have a direct line for us to be able to do that through clicking on UAN Assist. This is this little globe here. We also have Need Help, which also gives you a searchable aspect of all the information that you would need within UAN. Now, when you are using UAN, you can go into UAN Tools, and you have a very neat utility here, which is UAN Training, where you can actually go in and practice some of these things without worrying about messing up or changing any of your real data, because what it does is it copies over your data into a training environment, and you can then practice doing payments, practice doing some of those healthcare reimbursements, and get comfortable with performing those functionalities, and then go back in the other UAN, the real UAN, with your real data, and then perform those functions. So going back into UAN, let's take a look at some of the general, where I can go in, I can have access to users and roles. All the difference between users and roles limit users, and users are anyone that have access to UAN. So here I have users where I have given the fire chief and the trustee access to UAN, where they don't have security clearance or compliance clearance, but I have, through roles, limited them through what can be seen. So my fire chief can look at purchase orders, but he can't post and print anything. He does not have access to any payroll or any budget items.
Carzo, it's about 1 o'clock, so you still have some material, correct?
I was on number 3.
So everybody, if you need to leave, feel free. We got a little bit more material to cover, and we'll stay as long as we have some questions.
Okay, so we're on general and number 3, using users' preferences. That actually varies how UAN looks, such as when I first started UAN, it started at 75% instead of the full screen. I can change that to start like that. And I can change things such as having the number of requisitions, multiple copies of purchase orders, multiple vouchers, and even how wages prints out. So again, going back to some of the options for printing, if I go into payroll, and I go to post and print, oh, well, no, I can't do that. Remember, we have that compliance violation. But I can come here and edit and bring that back down to earth. And here I have different options such as being able to put notes on a stub. I can show the employee address. I can change the employee leave balances and show that on the stub as well. And I can even show the salary account code distribution. Notice that this isn't available until I actually go to print the warrant. I can also do for EFT, I can print on plain paper or EFT forms. One of the things we also wanted to note about was using the additional information. So if I go to additional information, is great for those type of informations such as a commercial driver's license number, attendance date of safety workshops, where instead of having to go into personnel file or file folder, I can actually come here and print out any of the information I need. So we've already reviewed going into the different utilities. Just go ahead and practice those areas again in the training before you actually need them, such as leave balance adjustments, the pay period adjustments, payroll and payment adjustments. And for accounting, you have utilities such as the payment utility and receipt utility, because these are great places to actually get information as well. Even if you don't need those areas, they're still great places to get that information. And last is recording adjustments versus the data entry line. We're going to take a look at that because when we actually have folks that want to do adjustments, the usual question comes up, well, do I have to use the line? And what that is there's a data entry line here. If I'm editing or changing the amount of a line here, I put in, say, negative 2660. I don't use the data entry line. It's only if I'm adding a new line that didn't exist presently, in which I would also have a purchase order blank certificate. And that concludes our presentation.